I remember last year I have restricted the use of social media, and I did various experiments as well to see how our lives are affected by the social media. And this everything I did after reading the line from the book Deep Work by Cal Newport. On page number 193, that sentence made me think about the use of social media, and I did put in some extra efforts and time to study and balance its use and giving more importance to the reality and real people in my life and not on my phone. The line was, "It's amazing how overly accessible people are." And I believe that this is true. We are overly accessible nowadays. According to the study by marketers at Media Kits, the time people spend on social media is more than the time they spend on eating, drinking, and socializing with friends and family. The average daily time reported by the study was more than 2 hours a day. People are spending more than 2 hours on social media only, and if you just do the math, it equals to more than 5 years in one lifetime. It's a huge of time, and that is just average. Many other people spend a lot of time on social media than average people do. One of my friends reported a total of 7 hours on WhatsApp, Instagram and Facebook totally combined in one day. Many other studies reported that the use of social media is increasing day by day, and if we cannot control that, we have to face many serious consequences because no one knows what exactly the future holds. Another study found that in 1 minute, in just 60 seconds, people published 3.3 million Facebook posts, 500,000 tweets, more than 70,000 Instagram photos and 500 hours of YouTube videos. There is entertainment everywhere. All apps are aiming for your attention, and that's why it's getting too much harder to put your phones down. Have you ever thought about how many times in a day you pick your phone and directly you click on the social media networking apps and you go to those apps without any intention? How many times you do that in a day? Is it few times a day, once a day, or more than 70 times a day? You know what? Average adults pick their phones more than 70 times a day. And if you do a little math here, that is after every 15 minutes, people pick their phones. If you find yourself losing several minutes or hours every day on social media, you are not alone. 72% of the people who use social media spends on an average 23 hours a week on social media just by using Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and many other apps. We have only 168 hours in a week, and we work for an average 48 hours. And if you just spend 23 hours just looking at what is happening in the lives of other people and just entertaining yourself, that is nearly half of the time you work. That nearly half of the time that is equivalent to the part-time job. This is an addiction and a path to run away from doing your work. If you want to come out of this addiction and take charge of your life, find out how much time you spend on social media or on your phone. It's easy to do that. There are various apps that will help you to do this job for you. Watch this video till the end and find out how you can calculate that. In the beginning, social media was a medium to connect with friends and family. But the features used and improved by these networks actually covered from 5-year-old to 80-year-old. I always talk a lot about social media and use and its addiction. But please understand, I'm not against the social media. I would rather say that it's a great medium to connect with the people. But you know what is actually happening? The problem that we are facing is, rather than just connecting with the people, we are creating peer pressure on our mind. I use these platforms, but I have some restrictions, and I know why these restrictions are important. I would say that these are the discipline practices that you can acquire. You may enjoy social media and use it on daily basis, but ask this question to yourself: are you addicted to it? The main problem is you cannot diagnose this addiction like the other addiction you can diagnose, because there is no such thing that is developed to diagnose this addiction. But the social media overuse is increasingly routine today. We are using it beyond its limit, and this overuse is seriously affecting our physical and mental health. Now let's understand why social media is so addictive and how it is affecting in our life. So why social media is so addictive? As I said earlier, when we started using social media, we were using that as a medium to connect with our friends and family members. But later on, we were using that for relaxing fun. But continuous and overuse of these apps and these mediums actually started affecting our brains. Many studies prove that there is actually significant effect on your brain whenever you use these social media apps. Whenever you just open those apps, when you click on those apps, level of dopamine increases in your brain. Signal of dopamine in your brain increases. Now, if you don't know what is dopamine, dopamine is a neurotransmitter. It is a neurotransmitter associated with the pleasure, a good feeling. It is the same chemical which releases in your brain when you drink alcohol, when you smoke, or when you gamble. When there is a rise in the dopamine, you feel good, you feel blessed, you feel a pleasure. That spike of dopamine level feels rewarding, and when it happens, our brain actually wants to repeat that, and that's where we get caught into the vicious cycle of release of dopamine and that level of the pleasure that we want it again and again. Now, what is the connection between the social media and the dopamine? Whenever you post something, and if somebody likes your post or does comment on your post, you feel that dopamine secretion in your brain, and this will give you, or this will generate a positive feelings. And this is the main reason for all other addictions. Do something that is pressurizing you, forget about all other things, and just look for that temporary feeling. These are all temporary feelings. The way your brain engages in the positive reinforcement is also seen in all other addictions. And that's why when the feel-good effect of dopamine fades away, you will go back to the source for more. You want to do that again and again, and that's where many people get into the addiction. The more you engage, the more you use, the more your brain will tell you that this is the activity that can help you to reduce the loneliness, reduce the stress, or for whatever the reason you are using that platform, and you will crave for that more and more, and it will increase over a period of time. But you know that even social media is increasingly overwhelming today, and this doesn't mean you will automatically develop an addiction to it. You are doing it over and over again. You are going back to it. It's a habit, and you are trapped into the habit loop. If you want to come out of this habit loop and make a use of your time more productively, then by taking frequent breaks and setting clear boundaries for yourself, you can help to prevent an over-reliance on social media, even before it becomes harmful to you. Don't wait till something goes wrong. If you do suspect that you have a social media addiction, there are ways you can treat it and increase your overall well-being. If the situation is serious, then do not hesitate to reach out the mental health professional for more help and come out of this type of addiction. Now let's talk about how does social media affect your overall well-being. There are pros and cons of social media, and it all depends on how you use it. In some ways, it may help you to nurture your social circle, or even it can also make you unhappy and isolated. It can make you depressed. A recent study says that these platforms have increased social media capital or social supports, a sense of community, and improved well-being. Social media has a huge impact on individuals and their lives. There may be some positive impacts, but study after study shows that the people who use Facebook and Instagram are more depressed in their life than those who don't use that. We are affected negatively by the use of this social media apps, and it is impacting in negative way in our life. Since we have access to these social media platforms on our phones, we are checking it everywhere. While having food in the restaurant, during the meeting in the classroom, or in the meeting room, or even in the bed when it's time to sleep. And we have no idea that why we are not getting sleep. Put that phone away, man, if you want to sleep. Multiple studies have proved that unlimited use of social media causes stress, bad moods, negative thoughts, and all these are affecting our life. It is damaging our mental peace. It is affecting on our mental health. If you find out, the normal routine people have is they wake up and immediately they pick their phone. They check out Instagram account. These online platforms are allowing us to make things attractive, and that's why you are always want to show to the world that you are best, you are good enough, you are handsome, you are pretty, and that is so serious. That is seriously damaging your mental health, your mindset, and your mental toughness. Another negative impact social media has is on our sleep. The time we spending on the bed with our phones on the social media is leading to a variety of sleep problems. The students who spend time on social media during their bedtime fall asleep in the class because they are simply too tired. If you use it carefully, social media is very powerful thing. It can help you many people all over the world to connect and inspire. It can help you to start some social movement. But I feel we should also realize that the negative impact of social media overviews we have in our life. You don't need social media every other moment in your life. It is a good medium. I know that, but it's too addictive. Now, as I said, if you want to analyze how much time you spend on social media, if you want to make something productive out of the time that you are spending on social media, if you are an iPhone user, you can use that inbuilt screen time application in your settings and find out how much time you are spending on every other application, how much time you are spending on every day or every week. And if you are an Android user, then you can download many other countless apps that will help you to find out how much time you are spending on every other app or social media. There is an app called Stay Free, which I have found very useful on tracking the screen time or tracking the apps or tracking the time that you are spending on the social media apps or various countless apps. If you want to spend your time productively and if you want to use it more productive way and do something with that time, the time that you are spending on social media, then analyze your time, how much time you are spending on social media, and find out what you can do with it. Just analyzing will not take much of time. You just have to install the app and you have to look for how much time you are spending on that. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit that like button and do not forget to share and subscribe for the new videos that will help you to build a strong mindset, develop a grit, and learn new things. Comment below what you think about your action plan, and also comment if you have any questions. I will do my best to reply those all questions. Until next time, my friends, start today for better tomorrow and take action now and be visionary.